Or imagine being able to be magically whisked away to Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware.
Hi there, so this is part 2 of the August update. Part 1 is nothing but serious talk about the dilemma that the world is in right now. I had promised to do a second part, which is more in line with what, more focused on the fun stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. So, actually, to be honest, I had so many plans to do a bunch of videos and stuff over the summer, and I just have lacked the motivation to do anything. Just seeing the plight, the precipice that our world is teetering on currently. And I feel like all these lemmings are jumping off the cliff. And I'm like the one lemming telling everybody, let's stay back, you don't have to do this. And it's kind of infuriating. Not infuriating, just really discouraging, I guess. And I just feel like I've felt quite a lot of hopelessness lately, and it's kind of hard to stay optimistic when I see what could very well be genocide, I guess. And so there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to talk about in this video. I already covered all that in the part 1 video, and you can see that on Odyssey. I think probably, if I avoid conversations in this video, that it's I'll just go ahead and just upload this straight to YouTube, I guess. It's just, for example, I'm reminded of, like, if I'm walking around downtown, like when I was, you don't get this in Japan though, by the way, but when I was in downtown Phoenix, or especially like downtown Los Angeles and such, somebody comes up to you and say, hey, could I have $1? Hand them $1. Oh, well, actually, could I have $2? And it's like, well, you didn't ask for $2. You asked me for $1, but so I gave you $1. Now you're asking for $2. They're like, well, actually, I need $2, right? So if you give them $2, and they say, well, actually, what I really need is $3. Now, if you can't really think straight, you're just going to end up, you're going to go broke. You just keep handing this guy dollars over and over again. Keep handing him money, and he's going to bleed you dry. And with this current situation that the world is in, what they had said, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and now they're saying, hey, you know what, get double dosed, then you can have your life back, you can return to normal. And then now you're finding out that that's not the case. Now, you know what, you need a third, and then fourth, and then however, you need to have this like every 6 months. It's just going to get to the point where if you are an intelligent person, you can see what is really going on, and you would say, no, I'm not going to participate in this. So this is something that I've been talking about the Hegelian dialectic for quite a while on my channel, and I think in April or May, I actually did a video on the Hegelian dialectic. Check it out. Yeah, that's you can see it at work. You can see how currently people are being pitted against each other. So summer vacation is coming to an end, and I was off for a week during Obon week. I stayed at home with my daughter. Didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, but just had a nice 9 days off in a row. And I get back to my work, and we're just at the city hall or whatever. Now there's a guy who sits to my right, and he's interesting to talk to, and I can talk to him about like all sorts of weird stuff, like, hey, what do you know about the Schumann resonance, or hey, what are your thoughts on Antarctica and stuff like that. I just keep it like really low, right? I don't really involve other people, but sometimes they try to involve themselves in our conversations, and it's kind of annoying. But there's a guy who sits on the other side of me. He's all right, I guess, but he's just kind of like well, they're normies, right? The guy over here, he's not a normie. He's interesting to talk to. Anyhow, so there's one other guy who is like a real jerk, and I've had problems with him. And my daughter, actually, he was her English teacher. She didn't care for his classes at all, because all he did was just shout, and he was angry all the time. And he's just an angry guy. He's a shit lib. What can I say? I heard him addressing the guy next to me on my left, saying, "So, how does it feel sitting next to an unvaccinated person who's not even wearing a mask?" You know, because I had taken my fear mask off, and I was drinking some tea, right? Normally I have, because here in Japan, you have to just kind of play along. It feels like you're being expected to believe in Santa Claus or something or other, but I just have my nose. You know, I'm going to breathe air. I just have my mouth covered up or whatever. But I had taken it off and I was drinking, and I heard that. And this is exactly it. You know, they want people pitted against each other. They want us to be angry with each other. You know, did you get the shots? Did you not get the shots? You know, just boom, 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 boom. And you know, when I heard that, you know, I've given up on trying to argue with NPCs. It's not worth it. You know, what I could have said is like, oh yeah, you know, filthy unvaccinated people like myself, we're always carrying diseases, you know, like typhus, and you know, we're infested with lice as well. And he probably wouldn't even have understood what I was talking about. You know, I could have said, you know, I'm part Jewish too, right? Still, he probably would not have even understood what I'm talking about. But this is the way society can really break down, and people are being pitted against each other. And unfortunately, people, they don't even understand what they're doing, and yet they would very readily condemn Nazi Germany, the people there, and what they went through. They don't understand how they're being completely manipulated. So that's it for that conversation. Speaking about the lemmings thing, you know, back in the 90s, Snopes was an interesting website to go to. And I remember going on there before they even had like an actual domain named Snopes.com or whatever. I think it was like on somebody's like private, it was like some web hosting. It's like something.com/Snopes or something. I really can't remember exactly, but I used to read lots of information on there. They actually had some like interesting information in terms of the lemmings thing. They had a whole section on just Disney and rumors, and how like if somebody has a heart attack or something happens and somebody dies at their theme parks, that they have some sort of a weird situation going on with the local police or whatever, and they have this agreement that people will not be pronounced dead at Disneyland. They will take them in an ambulance and then take them to the hospital, and then they'll be counted as dead. It's kind of weird. So they had some interesting factual conspiracies and stuff that they would talk about. So in case you weren't aware, the whole lemmings jumping off a cliff is an urban legend thanks to Disney. Basically, they had this documentary back in the 50s or 60s, and it involved these lemmings, and they depicted them jumping off a cliff for population control. Gee, yeah, the kind of thing that Bill Gates gets a boner from, right? Well, it turns out that it was completely fake, and they used like a bulldozer or something like that to chase these poor animals off a cliff. And it's not actual behavior that they do, but they just sensationalized it for this fraudulent documentary. And back in the 90s, you know, if you have like old Aunt Matilda and she gets her AOL email address account, you know, with all those trial discs and all that, and then she'd be like, oh, sending you these forwarded emails like, oh, here's like this little ASCII text, and it's like, oh, here's an angel to watch over you. You forward this on to 10 other people, and it'll have good luck. And it was just stupid stuff like that, or like, oh my gosh, Touched by an Angel is being taken off the air. This Madeline O'Hare, she's like this, she hates God, and so she's going to, get this TV show taken off the air. And you could send her a link to Snopes and said, actually, that show's been off the air for like 10 years. And the reason why you don't watch it is because it's not on anymore, and you didn't even bother to, you just get upset over the stupid forwarded email, and you're not even thinking about it. That was useful. That was before Snopes became a political propaganda website. So, what's interesting is that lately they've gotten into big trouble, I guess from plagiarism or something like that. It's only like, it's funny, when I found out that Snopes is just like a man and his wife and their obese cat, and I'm wondering if like the cat might be involved with some fact checking, like 1 meow is yes and 2 meows are no, or something like that. And the guy was using money to pay for call girls or something like that. They got divorced, and then he got remarried. But people think that Snopes is like, like a building full of like all these pencil neck people are researching the internet and stuff. No, it's not. It's just a guy and maybe like a couple of people or something rather ridiculous. But yeah, they're touted as like the experts on everything. It used to be just like dispelling urban legends and rumors and stuff. And back then it was an interesting website. But now it's a joke, especially now in light of that. The guy's getting caught for stuff. So, like I mentioned, I've been really kind of discouraged with what's going on, but yet there's so much fantastic stuff going on at the same time. It's really amazing. So, yeah, I've even kind of considered, like, maybe I'm just not going to make videos anymore, because, all I'm doing is, like, I'm sitting and I'm watching these like hour-long interviews with Nobel Science Prize winners, and how suddenly these people are discredited. Discredited by who? Just people like Snopes or something, for example. It's like they're not scientists, right? It's ridiculous, but yet somehow I'm a Neanderthal. But I've been really, really distraught over what's happening in Australia. And then I saw like the massive protests and the breaking through the police. It's really interesting how the populist movement worldwide, when they protest, it's for good causes, but when it's leftists, buildings get burned down and such. It's ridiculous. So anyhow, let's just talk about fun stuff here, okay? Like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of videos. I have done stuff on Odyssey. Again, get on Odyssey, create an account. Maybe I think you can have like email alerts set up so that if I post videos on Odyssey, you can be notified. I want, hopefully, to build up more of a geek audience on Odyssey, because a lot of these other alternative video platforms, it's just mostly just political dissent. And while I definitely consider myself a part of that, I just want to have fun, right? So, of course, I don't shy away from mentioning about stuff and exposing corruption and such. People get upset about that, oh, whatever. But Odyssey seems to have like a nice even balance and such. and they're not out to censor people. And to think about, as much as the YouTube, I've really enjoyed it, to think that what they are doing to facilitate the suppression of knowledge and sharing of information that can save people's lives, that really, and on top of that, the looking the other way while kids get exploited, I just can't stop encouraging people to please support alternative media. And frankly, I've spent a lot more time looking at stuff on Odyssey and Rumble and BitChute and stuff like that, much more than on YouTube. So I've had this YouTube channel since 2008, and I think it was in 2010 that I began doing like modeling stuff, because I had started out just doing video game stuff. Then I got into the whole online modeling, plastic modeling on YouTube before I even realized it was an actual thing. At the time I thought I'd have to beg people to watch it, and I didn't think there would be any audience. But now it's like that's what most people are, they come here to look at. I've just been thinking, if I make videos, I'm wasting your time, because you really need to be opening up your eyes to what's going on. And I've thought about just giving up until things get better. But honestly, as discouraged as I have been, our hobbies can kind of also alleviate stress. And I'm sure that the audience of people who are watching this, maybe you have been giving money, like in my analogy from before, giving money, giving dollars, and then, you thought giving 2 of them, and then you can get your life back, and then psych, that's not happening, is it? People need to wake up. At the same time, it's good to have quiet time and just enjoy stuff. So I have been rather busy. I have finished the Scarlet, and let me get that right real quick. Okay, here she is. I have completed Scarlet from G.I. Joe. I have a few videos already on Odyssey of this build, and the final video, I need to put her on the turntable and set up the white paper and take some close-up shots and such. But she's really cool. Again, the decals that came with the E2046, they look nice, but apparently they're not printed on white. I had to slide the decal off, paint her eye white, and then I had to put it back on. And even then I still had problems with it, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to yank those decals off, put on the spare set, and everything was going just fine, and then one eye decal was just kind of folded up and crinkled up on top of itself, and I couldn't get it to relax so I can put it back down. So I ended up painting her eyes myself, and they're not too bad, I guess. So she's kind of, she looks cross-eyed, but she's focusing on her crossbow there. The colors, everything turned out really fantastic. I'm really happy about that. You're only going to see her on Odyssey. So I think I've mentioned this before. What I want to do is just all of the builds that I have started on YouTube, they're going to stay on YouTube, and as I continue to upload more of those videos, those are going to go to YouTube. For the most part, newer projects, those are going to be going straight to Odyssey. I have been busy. I've gotten back to the Phantoms. So the RF4E, this is going to have the oceanic colors. I put the dark blue down first. I've masked this off, and now this is ready to go. I'm going to have to change the battery on this. Hold on. Alright, there's some more light there. The Revell 1/44 scale Su-27 flanker. I have put down more of the camouflage. I have this mask off. It's gonna look pretty nice, I hope, even though I know yes, it's not accurate to an actual flanker. They didn't have the proper reference material, but you know, it's still kind of fun. So there. As long as I enjoy it, I'm glad about that. I have heard people saying it's not accurate, but whatever. Okay. Now the Su-34, the Italeri kit, I have this all done now. For me, with my eyes, like these, like this grayish blue and like the turquoise blue, I have a hard time differentiating these colors. And my friend said that it looks fine to him. For me, with my eyes, I don't know, I just think that the dark blue just looks too dark, but I mean, it should look like, where's the Su-33 flanker kit? Here we go. It's supposed to look like this. And I don't know, what do you think about this? Is this pretty close or not to what the photo is? I don't know. I'm using the same paints, but whatever. This is really cool. Model art. This has this thing about like the gradation and stuff, like lightening the colors for scale. It's an interesting article on here, but for me it's like I'm color dumb, so I mean I can see colors, but a lot of times I can't quite understand what they are. If you're colorblind, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If not, you will never understand. Anyhow, he is using the model casting. Where is it? Yeah, I got this here. This is the flanker colors for the model casting, and the model casting. Okay, so this is what the kit tells you to use, and this is the model casting, what they tell you to use. This is the model casting colors, but this middle color is just a little bit too. It's not as bright as it should be, and what he did was he used this color here, which is actually the cockpit interior color, and that's a much nicer look, much nicer color. So that's what I went with. And it's not going to be the same color as the Su-33 that I finished a few years ago for the flanker group build. But anyhow, this is, I mean, it takes a very long time for me to translate the Chinese characters, the kanji, to understand stuff. But it's really, really cool. And I sent this issue to Rebels at Cloud 9 so he can take a look at it. And it's talking about, like, here's the new Gundam marker Chrome. Like, they're talking about, you know, this is a Sputnik. And, sorry, it's kind of hard to, there we go. Really, really cool stuff. Lots of really interesting information. They have this is a new paint line called Born Paint. Never even heard of it before. Weird, huh? And a new kit, I think this is Platt's 40th anniversary F-15J. Oh my gosh. Really, really cool stuff. So, I'll show more of that later, I suppose. The Millennium Falcon for the MPC. I'm so proud. This is turning out really, really nice. And so here it is. Now again, this kit, it's really old. From the top and the bottom, the detail is more or less okay, but the sides are terrible. And like the back here, this was all solid. There was nothing, there's zero detail. The docking rings were completely all solid. There was nothing there. This front part, this was all solid, and I opened it all up. I completely opened up this front part. I opened up the docking rings, and I completely opened up the back engine, and I added all the pipes and such to the sidewalls. The radar dish was completely way too big. It was just ridiculous. And I whittled that down, and it looks like it's more proper scale now. I have not used, because the gun on top, the turret gun was just completely just dumb looking. I threw it out. I can't even remember what it looks like. It was just completely unusable. And instead, I don't know if I threw it out or not. Maybe it's in the box. I made my own gun out of battleship parts. And that's what's going to go on here. And it's pretty much to scale. So I am happy about that. This weekend I finished up. I had masked this all off. And then I started doing the details. There's 3 different colors, right? There's the cream yellow, the gray, and the wine red. I used the Mr. Hobby Aqueous colors for those. Turned out really nice. My friend Gary in Pennsylvania, the same guy who modified the snow speeder for the old NPC AT-AT, which I'll eventually get to. He also modified the Lin Minmay soft B figure that I started working on. You know, there was like no detail for her nether regions, and so he put, like, he sculpted panties, and he also resculpted her face and such to make her look nicer. And he helped me out with the docking rings, and so he kind of, like, there's like a upside down T and like a diamond shape. He did that, and then I did the whole rest of it with the rods and such. I had was it like a 0.4 millimeter rod that I cut up and put segments in there, and it looks more like the way the docking rings should look like. All along the side, these are just cut up greeblies that I had made from battleship parts and such, and it's really, really cool. Inside there, I have my own custom details that I just took off of, again, battleship parts. The fronts of the mandibles, that before it just looked silly, so I filed it down so it's flat, and even though you can still see it's like the holes aren't really lined up, but still it looks good enough for me. So yeah, this is going to be fun. So next comes clear coat, and then I will be doing streaking and such. So I am working on this, and Mr. Color 338 is the gray color for that. It looks really, really nice. I'm doing the same for the Bandai kit. Now I did like a part 1 of just like a build of just putting plastic on plastic, and then I popped it open and then started to paint it. So this is gonna look nice, I hope. The thing is that the panels on this Falcon, this is larger size, so I was able to mask off and then just airbrush those panels. I might as well just hand brush the panels on this, because there's no way. It's just they're too small. So even though the detail is much sharper on this is actually not too bad. The details line up more or less. The panel lines and such, and where the different panels go. I was following the pictures of this to figure out where all the different colored panels are on this guy. and more or less they line up. So this, they did have good, decent reference material when they made this. It's just the sides looked horrible. And that Hoth MPC, the Hoth hanger, right? That's what this came from. I've had this done for quite a while now, and again, I also added greeblies and such to the side trenches on this guy here too. I've had this done. They are not actually, if you want to keep them totally in scale. Whoops. It's okay. I'm just me so clumsy. That other Bandai one is probably more in scale with this guy here. This is probably like 350 scale. This is probably closer in scale with each other, but you know, whatever. I'm just keeping it pure MPC. And even though this is too big, the X-Wings are in scale with this guy here. So I'll just keep that as is. So it's exciting to, you know, just get back to this kit every once in a while. It's just an ongoing project. What else? Oh yeah, that's right. So I showed you the Phantom. Now that is using the JASDF Oceanic camouflage scheme. These F2s from Freedom Models use the same. And so I already did the dark blue on these. And next is just going to be the lighter blue, and that will go on this. The Phantom, or there's two of these, right? The Phantom plus the YF-23, and again, that was the one with the digital camouflage. I'm doing like a what if, you know, if they actually had gone into production for the Japan Self-Defense Forces. So I have been doing a lot of airbrushing in particular, and I have been doing videos, but just haven't had the motivation to really upload them. And I felt like maybe I'm kind of a crappy person if I do that. At the same time, it's good to, as I mentioned, just get away from the news once in a while and just enjoy some stuff. So if these videos make people happy, that's great. You need to find out about what's going on, because all of those scientists and doctors who have received Nobel Peace Prizes, they are being completely silenced by the corporate media. And I can't imagine how anybody would be okay with that, you know. Like, well, I have my hobbies, and I don't care if children are being taken away from their parents and such, like in Israel or whatever. We're going through like a real dark time right now in the history of humanity. I'm sure there have been much darker times, but this is going to be, I think, I'm remaining confident that it's going to be a new beginning, and people are really awakening so much to the evil of what is going on in this world, and what used to be considered just, oh, that's silly conspiracy talk or whatever. Yeah, you know, the so-called conspiracy theorists have gotten it right all along, and the corporate media they're being exposed frequently for their propaganda. It's just, it's not even, I don't even want to call it news. So, what else can I show? The Phantom, these guys, I'm going to paint these up when I start the regular F4Js, the F4EJs, or I guess they're called, or EJ, I don't know, I'm too tired right now, hold on. Yeah, F4EJs. Phantoms by Hasegawa, and yeah, maybe I might start on the one by Fine Molds. It's something I'm really excited about, but I'm also wanting to do other stuff. If I do the Fine Molds Phantom, you're gonna see it on Odyssey. I don't want to keep bringing traffic to YouTube if I can help it, because I'm a jerk, I guess. Well, what else can I show you? Oh yeah, recent acquisitions. So let's get started with that.
I feel plastic. Hey, hey, hey.
My single acquisition for the month of July is, oh my gosh, the 35th scale Galleon tank from Crusher Joe. Wow. Now, they have been one-upping everything. Okay, so like the Takara, the Fighter 1, Fighter 2, that was 100 scale, and I built those, right? The Hasegawa version was 72nd scale. The Cordoba was, gosh, and the Minerva, I can't remember the exact scales, right? But the Hasegawa, I'm pretty sure the Cordoba is actually larger than the old kit from Takara. So for the Galleon, it was 48 scale back in the day under Takara, and this is 35th scale, which is great because 35th scale is a pretty standard scale for armor, right? Now, I never really even noticed it before, but there's like these little lights. They like look like police lights or something. I don't know. There's another one there, I guess. I noticed that while I'm looking at the pictures. So this is actually a pretty small tank, and so you got some headlights here going on. That's pretty cool. All right, and really neat figures. So they're all four of them are right here. It has a detachable, so like those like the little things can lift up, right? So you can see the characters inside, and then the whole thing lifts off, so you can see. So you don't want to glue that, obviously. But that is really freaking cool. That is like, dude, oh my gosh, it's so cool. So cool, it makes me want to scream. Right? Right. So this is the general size right here. Cool. You have clear parts in there. Nice. Now, the tank treads are just no nonsense. They're there. These are like solid parts. The thing is, like, people were forking out lots of money for the old 48 scale Takara Crusher Joe kit, and the tank treads, that rubber or whatever the hell it was made out of, it like deteriorated over the decades, right? So even if you get one that's like mint in box, maybe the tank treads are gonna like fall apart real easily. You never know. However, this one, they just kind of they learned from the mistake of this other company, and they just made it all solid, apparently. And, oh look, there's Ricky. So, yeah, pretty cool. Nice large scales. Yeah, I doubt they have any eye decals. Yeah, it looks like they do not have eye decals for the characters. It's kind of, 35th scale is kind of small for that anyways. 20th scale, yeah, they have done that, but not for 35th apparently. But, it's okay. You're probably better off just guessing at it yourself. I don't know. They would be really, really tiny decals if they did do that, so. Alright, well, here you go. Yeah, so it's got like, the thrusters in the back and such. I'm not going to take this out of the box. I don't know. If I get fired for not getting a vaccine or something or other, I might have to start selling off stuff in order to survive. So perhaps I'm not gonna do that. So what? Her Alphine's hair is 58. What is that? Orange yellow? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's orange yellow. Okay. So yeah, welcome to the New World Order. Welcome to the apocalypse. We'll see how this. Let's see how this works out, right? And so apparently you got a polycap here for the turret so that the guns can move up and down. That's nice. Got more polycaps here for this part here, which I imagine is some sort of hinge or something or other. I don't know if this is like missile pods or something. So we got Joe, Talos, Ricky, and Alphine. Their seating positions. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. These look like hinges, apparently. Oh, they got the little warheads on the things to put in there. That's cool. Well, now. Huh. Yeah, you can see pictures of this on Hasegawa's website. Japanese Hasegawa. I really haven't even looked at the English language website in years, I think. I assume that they were updating it, but I wouldn't even know. Of course, I got all these decals for the dashboard and such. The characters themselves are just... Huh. Okay. Yeah, just straight decaling. Or, I'm sorry, painting without decals, I meant to say. I'm sorry, I'm looking at stuff. So his, Joe's is just tan colored. Alphine is like character flesh, 111. And then Ricky is like 111 and 112 and mixed to 50-50. And Talos is 69. What is 69? Off-white... Oh, I'm sorry, no. No, 42 is mahogany. With a little bit of flesh color, 51. That's interesting. Ah, mahogany. That's cool. Yeah, he does have a dark complexion, so there you go. Well, there you go. That is really cool. Yeah. Just came out today. Like, I'm recording this as of, like, July 31st, and in my tiny town, they don't get kits like this. They haven't been, like, I have two small hobby shops, and they don't stock Crusher Joe stuff at all, so I ordered this off of AmiAmi. Neat stuff. My single acquisition for the month of August is the Nautilus from Fushigi no Umi no Nadia by Kotobukiya. And this is 1/1000 scale. Nice poster on the cover here from the shell. Alright. And they got Nadia's skin tone proper, so that's good. Because I get kind of tired of seeing her as much lighter complexion than she really is. I don't know why they do that. It's just kind of weird. Well, here we go. Now, this is way more detailed than the old Bandai kit, and I'm going to get that out in a bit and show the difference here. Now it just says sample photo of unpainted kit, so it comes in different colors. Now the old Bandai kit, I think it was maybe without 1000 scale, I don't know. The old Bandai kit was, actually it was starting to go up in price. It's been out of print for a while. They haven't repopped it in, I don't know, a long time, I think. Now this, unlike, if I remember right, the old Bandai kit was not a snap kit. I think it may have been a glue kit. I cannot remember. Gosh, I just don't remember. Well, looks like that's the bridge, right? So it's got like this, I think, no, actually the bridge is up here, isn't it? And then this is like this little observation blister or something or other. It's got all those little portals and stuff. It's somewhat similar in to like, you know, the Jules Verne Nautilus, or like the old Disney movie and such. I suppose in that respect, I remember like at least that one had like two big blister windows on the sides at least. So it's got like a turbine here, and if I remember right, the old Bandai kit, like the turbines on the back were separate parts, and that does not look to be the case. These are molded together. I could be wrong. I haven't built it in like, gosh, that was when I was living in Arizona. And that was like my first fully airbrushed kit at the time. So now we got two different colors of blue here, and that's pretty cool. This is like the lower hull. That's nice. Nice. I remember this. Yeah, this is that burgundy wine red kind of a color here. I remember I mixed my paint to try to get that right. Very cool. I think this is like the back, the propellers and such. And wow, that's considerably darker. Look at that. And this is the Kotobukiya stand. That's really great. I'm sure it must have some sort of peg hole on the bottom, molded in perhaps, I guess. Maybe that's what that is. Let's look at the instructions here. That's great. That's really great. Now the really cool thing about the Bandai kit was that it had like a poster, and I have it actually on my wall back behind my model hobby bench here. So dark orange is what that is. So it's got the color callouts in Mr. Hobby Aqua's colors. Okay. Oh, there we go. You're going to be gunmetal for the propellers in the back. And what is this? These are like lights, apparently. I thought maybe they might have like clear parts for those. That would be pretty cool, but yeah, it's okay. I don't want to light it up. Yeah, sure. Alright. Oh, you know what? I think this is probably where the stand plugs into. Is this part right there? So yeah, the Nautilus Go. That's what they Go is like a suffix for like ship, right? Like the Arcadia. They call it the Arcadia Go from Captain Harlock, or the Enterprise from Star Trek. They call it the Enterprise Go. So here we go. This is rather straightforward. Oh, here we go. Yeah, if you use the base, right, you pop that little thing out and then plug it in. Otherwise, put this on there to fill up the detail. And, oh, isn't that great? Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water in 1889. Oh my gosh. Right at the turn of the century. In Paris. Yeah, it just gives like a synopsis of the show. Neat little poster here. Isn't that great? This is the colors that I just saw. And oh, look at that. This is like when it's underwater. And when sailing at sea is what it says here. Check that out. So you can paint it in different colors when it surfaces, apparently, or when it's underwater. Frankly, that looks kind of weird because you're just used to it being underwater the whole time. So now this is kind of like orange yellow here, and that's what I painted the other one, right? So neat stuff and things, I must say. Let me grab the Bandai kit. here it is, and I do not remember what scale it is. It does not say here. This is the Nadia that I painted up. I did the eyes and everything. Probably, she looks like she could really stand a flat coat, I think. And as I remember correctly, yeah, those are separate pieces, right? Now, I got a bit of an eggshell texture here. I'm not too happy about that, and I remember I screwed up the paint right there, and I tried to color match it, but I didn't have any remaining, and it's kind of like it's a little bit too glossy. Again, this is like my first kit that I ever fully airbrushed, although it's obvious I did not airbrush the stand. I didn't bother with the stand. Alright, let's take a look here. Right off the bat though, I can tell this is much bigger than 1000 scale. Alright, now here's like, for example, here's the back deck here. This is like more like, I'm guessing more like 700 scale or something. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything, I'm just guessing. You know, like, what the hell do I know, right? You know, I kind of feel like retouching this up. And then doing like another, yeah, another like a flat coat on this. This is like, man, this is really sloppy work. I mean, I still cherish this, right? Because this is, you know, I got memories to this. Like I had done, I think it was 1000 scale Yamato kit from way back when, the old Legacy kit that was like from, I think like the second series, and that was just completely, I didn't paint it at all really. And then this one is completely painted, and like this is super glossy right here. I think I airbrushed Future on this, and look at this, it looks like crap. So I got like some really bad color problems there. Something happened, I can't remember exactly what, but I probably touched it or something happened, or maybe I had some thinner on my fingers and ruined it. But yeah, okay, well there you go. Considering that, I mean, the old Bandai kit is probably gone down in price in anticipation of this Kotobukiya kit, so if you want the larger scale, you could probably figure out, oh my gosh, look at that, got the scrape marks. I was trying to, I didn't do too bad of a job getting rid of the seam line, but like right here you can see the seam line, but I just filed it and I didn't sand it down properly all along here. Oh well. And there's that that wine red color, and I can't remember what I used for that. I think I just mixed some little bit of brown with the red or something like that. That's a Tamiya. And then this one, I was able to paint that separately, and then yeah, I painted this in subsections, and then I glued it together. But golly, and there's the red. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, like this is like red gloss enamel on the nose. Wow, nostalgic. All right, well there you go, guys. Alright, since I am encouraging people to follow me on Odyssey, I'd like to show a few channels that you might be interested in. So, as far as modeling goes, Spencer Wolf has an Odyssey channel, and he has done some pretty cool stuff. As you can see here, he's done the Slave one. Did you hear me? Did you hear me, Disney? It's called the Slave One, okay? Screw you, Disney. Slave One. And he's got Klingon Bird of Prey as well. Pretty cool stuff. Next. Now, so this guy followed me over. And this is Minuteman Model Works. And as you can see here, he really needs to change his his channel name. I don't know what he was thinking, but anyhow. This guy also does some really cool stuff, lots of Star Trek stuff, really cool. Check him out, okay? I'll have links to these these not YouTube channels, but these Odyssey channels in the description here. So now this guy here, this is Trek Yards, and he's got quite a lot of followers on Odyssey, and that's good to see. That's really good to see. So yeah, definitely check out stuff, and of course, here's Geeks and Gamers. You can find lots of cool channels on Odyssey because it's really easy to just mirror and scrape the videos off of your YouTube channel and put it on, populate your new channel on Odyssey with your stuff from YouTube. So whenever I upload stuff to YouTube, it also gets scraped and put onto Odyssey as well. So yeah, check out these channels and go ahead and subscribe to these. And of course, if you have switched over to Odyssey and you have a channel that you'd like to promote, let me know, and I can mention it in an upcoming update video. Either that, or maybe there's another Odyssey channel that you have found with that's modeling involved and such. Let me know, and I can point it out. Thanks.
New toys!
Well, I managed to get all 3 of these figures. I had tried very unsuccessfully at getting Asuka, and I just kept getting more and more Rey figures. So I'm actually I sent some Rey figures to some friends, and I was at 7-Eleven, which is kind of a little bit out of the way, and they still had these, and they were actually on clearance. So I got 2 of them. One is a Maria, and then the other one was Asuka. So now I finally have Asuka. So yeah, here she is. And I didn't think I was ever going to complete this collection. So these were being sold for like 500 yen each, and I got them for like half off. So I'm happy I finally was able to finally get Asuka. So yeah, for only 500 yen, I mean, this is pretty nice. I mean, the sculpting's great. The paint job is really nice. The eyes are great. There's a nice gradation on her hair. I mean, especially here, you could see it on Rey, especially the color gradation. It's really nice. So yeah, these are really nice quality for only 500 yen. And now I have all 3 of them. So yay. Here's a neat magazine. Well, it's a MOOC. It's not really a magazine or a book, it's a MOOC. And this is on the F4 Phantom. Oh my cow, isn't that cool? So, yeah, it's like just under 2,000 yen after tax. So, he's got the fine molds, 7-second scale F4EJ. This is Zokemura, in case you ever wondered. Because I know some people, they might be able to pick out like katakana or something like that. Hasegawa is usually written in katakana, right? There is a kanji, but for the model company, it's always in katakana. Fine molds. Okay, so this is Zokemura, the kanji there. 48 scale F4EJ. So this is all Japanese self-defense force, I believe. But Hasegawa 48 scale RF4E. Fine mold 72nd RF4EJ. So there's no 72nd scale Hasegawa. It's just 48 scale Hasegawa, as well as Okemura, and 2 fine molds 72nd scale builds. Alright, so got a nice little advertisement right here in front for fine molds. So yeah, they are like releasing tons of neat stuff here. So let's look at this here. Oh my cow. So it shows you which ones are which. Okay, so this is a Hasegawa here, and this is Zokemura. Now there is nothing from yeah, well, Platts. I don't know. Does Platts has a pretty cool 1/44 scale Phantom I saw. But yeah, there's yeah. So you get plenty of reference pictures here. Pretty neat. Oops, I missed a spot. There we go. Fujimi, there's no Fujimi builds in here apparently. Oh man, that's so cool. I love the blue colors. So yeah, so we keep going into the book, and yeah, I love that. That's so cool. Now I have this actually, 48 scale Hasegawa. I have not yet built it, obviously, but it's really cool. Look at the discoloring on that. That's interesting. I don't know if like these were like replaced or something or other, or I'm not sure how that works, but. And you can see where they've repainted after they've riveted, right? So they put down the panels and then they repaint along the panels to prevent rust and such, right? Nice landing gear picture there. Cool stuff, huh? Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Very nice. Alright, so. Oh yes. Oh my gosh, cockpits. That's great. Alright, so if you just keep flipping through here. Oh, there's the intakes, right? So the Hasegawa kit doesn't even have that at all. The 72nd scale Hasegawa kits that I'm making. Fine Molds does though, isn't that great? That's very cool. I love this. I love it. Alright, so more cockpits. So yeah, we haven't even gotten to the actual models yet. This is just all plenty of reference photos. This is a pretty cool book. Again, this is Ikaros. Ikaros makes this. So I'm not totally familiar with the company, but. So yeah, let me just keep going. Missiles, isn't that great? Here we go. Now we're getting into the actual builds. So this is fine mold 72nd scale F4EJ. Now I have the F4EJ Kai kit. You can get the pitot tube there. There's also these position lights and stuff. I don't know why you would want stick, you know, like a. I mean, they have decals for that. I don't know why you'd want that. Actually, put that on your kit. But they have those little back mirrors and such. Sorry, rear view mirrors. It's my Japanese. They say back mirror. It's wase ego, right? They make their own English words that may or may not actually make sense. So, oh, look at this. See, some people are like, you know, fancy pants, and they can just do their own roundels there, right? And I can't do that, but I'm afraid I'd probably screw it up. Now this is Zokemura, 48 scale, Phantom. Wait, hold on, what's this? Oh, the intakes. Isn't that cool? Look at that. It looks like they've masked it off. They've used the sponge. That's actually what I've done. And these are the paints that are involved. Now the Mr. Metal color, you have to like wipe those down. And they're just going to keep coming off on your fingers, so you have to put down like a clear coat on top of that. The super metallic paints, though, on the other hand, you do not need to polish those. F4EJ Kai. This is Hasegawa. This is just the standard. Cool stuff. Neat stuff. And this is another Hasegawa kit. It's the RF4E. This is the fine molds. So that is super duper neato. And advertisements for plenty of stuff. Oh look, eggplane. I like that. Now here's the Fujimi F4EJ. I don't know much about that one. I am kind of tempted to get the Phantom. I think it's 48 scale, made by Doyusha. And I don't know what do they have. It's not a Japanese one though. It's an American Phantom. So anyhow, yeah. So there's that. Okay, so more Phantom-y goodness. This summer has been really nice for Model Art Magazine issues. This is their second Phantom focused issue this year. I think the previous one was February or so. Look at that. That's the new Tamiya 48 scale short nose. Look at that. Those decals are fantastic looking. USS Coral Sea. Dang, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, so shoot, what's his name? Sean. What's his channel? Hold on. Primed Model Works. I couldn't think of his channel. What the hell's wrong with me? Oh my. Yeah, so it's a Saturday morning. I'm still in slow motion mode here. Alright, so what was the cool stuff? Oh, here we go. Here we're getting to it now. There's the Playboy bunny. There's the Playboy bunny. If I can scooch this back more, so this is more in frame. Alright, so what do we got here? Tamiya 148 scale. Short nose. This is right there. Short nose. Dudes. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't gotten their Tomcat either yet. Well, anyhow, so check this out. This is an interesting article, and it's actually a sit-down conversation with Mr. Tamiya and Mr. Suzuki, right? So he's the president of Fine Molds. So they're having a nice conversation, and actually, so well, let me find where they were talking about something. I'll check this out here. So Mr. Tamiya, he says that, you know, the Fine Molds kit, I'm sorry, the Tamiya kit has the two pilot figures, right? And so he says to Mr. Suzuki here, he's like, hey, we'll make some pilot figures for you. And so they did that. And again, this is I've mentioned this a lot on my channel on how the modeling industry in Japan, they really take care not to step on each other's toes. Fujimi is like the black sheep, I guess you could call them. They kind of just do their own thing, and they're not really into like making tons of friends, I guess. They just want to make what they want to make, and they don't care if it ruffles anybody's feathers. But obviously, like, you know, these guys they're competitors, but they're like, it's not quite competition. It's like, hey, they understand that they share the same customers, and so they kind of build off of that, right? So they, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours and such. So these right here, the Feinwelds, this neat little guy here, this is actually sculpted by Tamiya. And so yeah, Tamiya provided it for Feinwelds, and I believe this is probably sold separately. I don't know, maybe it comes with the kit, I don't know. But yeah, they cooperate, and I think that's just really peachy keen. And I can't imagine why I just said peachy keen, because I don't talk like that, and that's just kind of weird. I don't know why. This is the Sundowners, dude. Oh my cow, that is freaking cool. That is freaking cool, let me tell you. So, swanky. Yeah, the whole interior, that's just really cool, because the Hasegawa one is just flat. There's no detail in there at all. So that's great. And oh look, so this is how they build it up here. They do Mr. Color GX, that's Ueno Black, I believe. And they do just black, and they do Mr. Color 11 Gold Gray. And then they do black shading. And then now they're doing white. And then back to gold gray. Right? You seeing this? Okay, making sure this is in frame here. And then and now they're just doing like the Komakai Bubu. It's like about just the details, right? So now you see here, this is what they're doing here, okay? And now underside, right? Same situation. They go over it with the black here for the shading and on the panel lines and such. And so yeah, you get like this nice modeling effect, and it's pretty cool. Very, very cool, guys. And oh, let's check this out. If I didn't even think about this when I was making my Phantoms, but they got all these wires and crap going in here, and I think that's really cool. You just kind of bend it down and put it down there. So it says, yeah, they're using soldering wire to do that. I like that. I think that's a really cool idea. That's really great. And here's your pilots without any legs. I guess you don't really see them anyways, but talking about using polishing compounds to clear up the canopies, etc. Fantastic. Holy crap. Nice. So yeah, how much does this go for anymore? I don't know. I'm sure you people in outside of Japan, you're probably pay a lot of money for this. But, oh golly, that's cool. USS Midway. That's great. Oh. Now you're gonna see this. I'm gonna be uploading a video real soon on my Hasegawa kits, and this is like these little 3D printed templates that I got on booth.fm, and actually they are selling those. If you don't want to go through the proxy purchasing service through Booth, what you could do is actually you can find them on Hobby Search, which is 1999.co.jp. They sell these on Hobby Search, so if you already have an account there, you can buy it that way. Hobby Search has an English website. It's weird. They use they look at your IP address, and so if I'm in Japan, it just goes straight to Japanese. Ami, I think they have like an actual separate website for English and another one for Japanese. Hobby Link Japan the same way, but Hobby Search, you'd have to look. You're like, because I can see Star Wars models on Hobby Search, but like you can't. because I live in Japan and you don't. Neener, neener. Look at this. They're literally wrapping that little tape around there. That's interesting. I mean, like at 72nd scale, I just used like a Gundam marker to paint the black stripes on those. Okay, so got 3 different stuff here, 3 different kits here by Tamiya, and now we got Hasegawa kits. I'm sure they don't even compare really. I mean, the Hasegawa, they're nice, but they're at like their 48 scale Phantom is like since like the 80s or so, or maybe like early 90s. Now here they're talking about like the proportions and such. Now this is Okemura, this is Academy, and this is Hasegawa. So here are the Academy Phantoms, and I'm not entirely sure if that's the same thing as the Doyusha. You know, I'm gonna try to translate this, I guess. I'll read this later. Actually, I'm gonna be taking my wife to the physical therapist this morning, and I will maybe dog-ear the crap out of this page and come back to it, guys. Alright, so let's just kind of skip around here. Lots of neat crap. Yep, here we go again. This is what I'm talking about. Now these are really cool. This is a Hasegawa. Oh no, that's not. This is Hasegawa. This is Tamiya. Like the tri-tool comes like with different shapes and stuff. That's really cool. Look at that. They're like masking this off here, right? And then when they blow airbrush it, they lift it off and they get like some streaking effects, I suppose. That's interesting. Showtime 100. Neat, freaking neat. Aggressor, yeah, they've been doing a lot of the Aggressor Squadron stuff and model art, showing like the paint jobs and everything. So that is really cool. That is fantastic. It's what's it? Saber. And there's a flanker. I'm guessing that's a Su-27. I'm not sure. Okay. Tanks. I'm sorry. I don't care for tanks. I mean, whatever, right? So this is the Academy. This is what? Isn't this the? Hold on. B-52H Strato Fortress. Huh. Okay. Huh. Oh. Super Hornet. Who's this by? Mang. Yeah. Cool, huh? Dassault Mirage. Swanky. So. I really miss the Shizuoka hobby shows, and these poor guys are wearing masks, and God, we're gonna have to ask you to wear these masks. Yeah, we're gonna have to just ask you to convert to Islam while we're at it, and yeah, well, you just forget about your freedoms, and yeah, there's the cooties are going around. You don't want to get grandma sick, right? God. Tits. This is a Gatai something or other. She's like the female embodiment of some robot I'm not familiar with, but you can see her boobs, so that's pretty cool, I guess, right? I think that's about it for this. Tons of cool advertisements for all these different places to buy kits. M's Plus, I bought my Flying Tigers F-16, the Taiwanese Air Force. They had that. That's the only time I've bought anything from them. But, oh yeah, that's right. There's the Clear Frost and the bathing suit. That's great. So, upcoming releases and stuff. Alright, now. Let's move on to number 9 here. This is September. I showed this earlier. This has the flanker colors, right? please let me know what you thought about the you know, if I came close to that, or if I need to redo the color. Maybe the middle color needs to be darker, because it doesn't really contrast very well from the grayish blue. And I'm not so sure. Oh, that's right. I was talking about this with Jared, Rebels of Cloud 9. So Academy is doing a Blackbird, right? So SR-71 Blackbird. I think it's the same. I think it's Hasegawa's. I think, because I can't remember what I had determined, but it looked really familiar. At first I thought it was Itali's molds, but I think it's Hasegawa's molds. And they just made their own. Now this is an interesting, made their own decals. All about color gradation. This is really interesting. And I can't trust my eyes with colors. So, I mean, I see colors, but like, I get confused with this. I just, whatever. You know, I can't trust my eyes to do this kind of stuff. And it's giving like an example of like different scales. And if you want to make something like a smaller scale, you would maybe lighten the paint color a little bit. And I think they even show that here on the cover here. You make it lighter, the smaller you get. So 30 SM. So yeah, they're showing like they got this paint chart here and holding up the samples to color match and such. This is the. Oh my gosh. What is even going on here? It's got some sticky. I think it's like some masking or something rather. The pages are stuck together. Can't stop looking at this magazine. Oh, I'm sorry, that was crude. I suck. I got a dirty mind. Wash my brain out with soap. Battleships. I'm sorry, but I don't care too much. Now, Born Paint. Like, I've never even heard of them before. And yeah, I showed you this before already. It's a Sputnik thing. Beautiful stuff. I guess I already kind of showed a lot of this, so there you go. Leonardo. This store is so cool. They in Akihabara they've got like 3 locations or so. Man, cool stuff, guys. And there's a Fair Lady Z. Mercedes. Jaguar, or as they say in the UK, Jaguar. What's up with that? Goofy UK people. Stromovic. Oh, this is the by Zvezda, yeah. So I can eat crap. Oh, yes, right. This is how they do like a diorama. This is amazing. So they fill it all up. I guess this was liquid resin or something or other. Yeah, damn. They got it like they got put pigments in there to make it bluish, right? So some bike. It's okay, I guess. Akihabara. Beat camera. Where is this? Hasegawa. Oh, that's that guy. Hasegawa. It's the modeler guy. Oh. There's your MG34. MG42. And here's the Crusher Joe Galleon tank. That's great. So, yeah, neat stuff, guys. Super ass neat stuff. Alright, so, let's talk about some stuff and things, huh? Yeah. So this summer I have really been enjoying plenty of retro gaming on my computer. So again, I have Linux as my desktop computer, and that makes me better than you. So there is the RetroPie, which you can install onto the Raspberry Pi. However, you can actually also install it natively on a Linux computer. I think you might be able to do that on a Windows computer. I don't know. I really don't know. But I have been really enjoying that a lot. Also, Steam, I have been... what I want to do is probably do a video just standalone. Like, I did upload one video of a Steam game. It was a Windows Steam game that was running just fine on Linux. So it was a shooter game called Trouble Witches. Anyhow, so yeah, I have been exploring lots of emulation on RetroPie. Sega CD works. I had tried to get my Sega CD to work on my Xbox. This is my hacked Xbox from like 2003 or whenever it was that I bought it. And the CD wouldn't work for some reason. But on RetroPie, it works. So check this out. This is footage from Snatcher. If you're not familiar with Snatcher, it is a heavily Blade Runner inspired game by Konami. This was back when Konami was really awesome. This is by what's his name? Hideo Kojima, who also did Metal Slug. And as you can see, the graphics are really fantastic and very, very heavily inspired by Blade Runner. Check this out, Scott Hartz. Yeah, Scott Hartz, the president of Hobby Link Japan. Yeah, check that out. Isn't that great? Cool. So the way I see the situation that the world is in right now, I'm often reminded of the ending of Braveheart. If you remember seeing that, that's the Mel Gibson movie. And at the end of Braveheart, you know, he's being slowly tortured to death. And they keep telling him, just do what we want and we'll make it all go away. Just do what we say and you can, you know, we can spare you. I see that happening. It definitely happening. And all they want is just do what we say, and then you can have your freedoms back. And you know, of course, at the end of the movie, he just screams out freedom, right? He doesn't give in, and he does not give them victory. And that's kind of really what has to happen. I mean, it's funny. Like Dr. Zelenko made a joke. He said something like, the entire world is suffering because Bill Gates couldn't find a girlfriend in high school. That is so true. check this out. Now this is this guy's a musician, Zuby. I've never heard of him, but I see a lot of his Twitter being reposted on forums and such. As you know, I was booted off of Twitter because I made comments about having people rounded up and putting them into internment camps, and that's kind of exactly what's happening right now. And gee, they don't like to hear that. They don't like to be reminded that they are pretty much the Nazis. And so I had my Twitter account permanently suspended. So Zuby here, he says 20 things I have learned or have confirmed about humanity during the pandemic. 1. Most people would rather be in the majority than be right. 2. At least 20% of the population has strong authoritarian tendencies which will emerge under the right conditions. That's so true. 3. Fear of death is only rivaled by the fear of social disapproval. The latter could be stronger. 4. Propaganda is just as effective in the modern day as it was 100 years ago. Access to limitless information has not made the average person any wiser. Oh God, this is so true. 5. Anything and everything can and will be politicized by the media, government, and those who trust them. 6. Many politicians and large corporations will gladly sacrifice human lives if it is conducive to the political and financial aspirations. Yeah. 7. Most people believe the government acts in the best interest of the people. It's completely naive. Even many who are vocal critics of the government. 8. Once they have made up their mind, most people would rather to commit to being wrong than admit they were wrong. 9. Humans can be trained and conditioned quickly and relatively easily to significantly alter their behaviors, for better or worse. 10. When sufficiently frightened, most people will not only accept authoritarianism, but demand it. Oh God. This is really frightening, but that is so very, very true. 11. People who are dismissed as conspiracy theorists are often well-researched and simply ahead of the mainstream narrative. Hello? Hello? Yeah. 12. Most people value safety and security more than freedom and liberty, even if said safety is merely an illusion. I think, was it Thomas Jefferson or Benjamin Franklin had something to say about that. Saying like if you give up your freedoms to be safe, then you're not going to be safe. Something like that. Look it up. I'm too lazy to do it right now. 13. Hedonic adaptation occurs in both directions, and once inertia sets in, it is difficult to get people back to normal. Hedonic. Now that's an interesting word. Actually, I have to admit I'm really ignorant about that. If you've heard this term before, let me know. But that is interesting. I like to learn new things. 14. A significant percent of people thoroughly enjoy being subjugated. Oh God, yes. So sad. 15. The science has evolved into a secular pseudo-religion for millions of people in the West. This religion has little to do with science itself. 16. Most people care more about looking like they are doing the right thing rather than actually doing the right thing. Masks, hello. Gosh. 17. Politics, the media, science, and the healthcare industries are all corrupt. Oh yes. To varying degrees. Scientists and doctors can be bought as easily as politicians. Yeah. The media is completely bought as well. 18. If you make people comfortable enough, they will not revolt. You can keep millions docile as you strip their rights by giving them money, food, and entertainment. Gosh, yes. And how many people are taking... They're just using this stupid money that the government's handing out to people. They're just using it to buy video games and crap. And so, like, retro video games have become so expensive, and it's just ridiculous. So stupid, and it's really obnoxious. 19. Modern people are overly complacent and lack vigilance when it comes to defending their own freedoms from government overreach. 20. It's easier to fool a person than to convince them that they have been fooled. Whew. I believe that was Mark Twain who said that. God, it's so very, very, very true, guys. Bonus thought. 21. Most people are fairly compassionate and have good intentions. This is good. As a result, most people deeply struggle to understand that some people, including leaders, can have malicious or perverse intentions. This is bad. So, again, I'm not paranoid. I just don't like being lied to. And you can tell when you're being lied to. So, especially, like, for example, take a look at Beto O'Rourke here.
We have just learned a short while ago that there has been a shooting in El Paso. And at this point, the area has still not been cleared. It's still considered active. We know that there's a lot of injury, a lot of suffering in El Paso right now. I'm incredibly saddened, and it is very hard to think about this.
Well, obviously that guy can't keep secret going for very long. He starts cracking up. That is a telltale sign that you're being lied to. When they know that they're lying and they're being devious about it, so they actually start cracking up. And like I pointed out about that Sandy Hook guy in the past, he's like supposedly his daughter had died the day before that. So whether or not anybody actually died, what you see on TV is acting. Beto O'Rourke right there. I don't know what happened. I don't know the truth about what that shooting was, but this guy, it could very well be a hoax, just judging by his behavior. So the thing is, with this Afghanistan thing, of course Joe Biden is an incompetent buffoon. That goes without saying. The problem, though, is like, okay, so look at this. All right, so we're told about this airplane taking off, right? Check this out. Okay, so these people are all running alongside. I don't think they could even be cleared for takeoff with all those people on the runway. I don't know how they can just do that. That's just ridiculous. But check this out. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at that. Look at that. Check this out. Hi, Mom. Haha, I'm on TV. This guy's having a nice day. I mean, he's smiling. This guy is not in peril whatsoever. Kind of makes you think about that. Gee. Now keep in mind that the corporate media took that video of like that Kentucky live fire demonstration, and they cropped into it, and they claimed that Syrians are being killed. Now check out this stuff here. So you get these people like just standing around. They're not socially distancing, of course, right? But look at these guys here. I'm gonna zoom in here. These guys are smiling. Okay, so you know, at least the good thing is that they're not socially distancing. They know that this Wu flu crap is stupid. But look at this guy. They're smiling. Okay, this guy is totally smiling. And you got these people, oh my gosh, they're fleeing in terror. And look, smiles on these faces. Those two guys, the little boy's smiling, right? And then his parents have masks on because they're idiots, I guess. But Yeah, this is a bit strange. Would you not agree? I'm not saying that nobody's lives are in peril. I'm not saying that whatsoever, okay? Taliban, Islam's gonna Islam, right? And at least to be fair to Islam, this is the crap that the United States CIA has created, okay? So you got the Taliban, which were originally called the Mujahideen, right? That was the CIA's way of waging a proxy war against the Soviet Union when the Soviet Union was held up in Afghanistan. And so while they were wasting their time in Afghanistan, the CIA recruited Osama bin Laden, and who was a CIA asset, to fight the Russians on behalf of the United States. This isn't crazy talk. You can look this up for yourself. It's pretty well documented. Incidentally, the Noor bin Laden, she's his daughter, and I would say she probably loves America more than Joe Biden does, or especially the Gang of Four, what's her AOC and those other pinheads. At the same time, though, I saw a video of an interview with Noor bin Laden, and she had like on this side of her, behind her head, there was like something or other about the Council on Foreign Relations or something or other. So maybe it's just all talk, getting our hopes up for nothing, I guess, because if so many people want to believe her, I don't know. I will reserve judgment. But so you got the Taliban, which the United States had created, and then now I guess there's ISIS, which Obama and Hillary had created as well, and with the same tactic as Iraq, right? Well, we're just going to leave all this military equipment behind, and then it fell into the hands of ISIS, and then Joe Biden did, and that was under the Obama-Biden administration. And now under the Biden-Kamala, or Biden-Harris, whatever her name is, stupid cum-stained Kamala. It's the same. It's the same stupid strategy. We'll just leave a bunch of weapons and equipment behind, and don't worry about it. It's no big deal. And then of course it falls into the hands of the bad guys. So all I can say is this is my message for Biden and Harris. Alright guys, that is it for this update. So I hope you're doing well, and all I can do is just encourage you. Say no to medical tyranny. Take yourself out of the Hegelian dialectic, and hopefully we can overcome this. I'm trying to stay positive and optimistic, so maybe that's easy for me to say, because at least for the time being my job is not in jeopardy. Because I just see what's going on in this world, and it is really disheartening. So I just hope and pray that the people who are responsible for all of this will definitely see justice. So we're teetering on the precipice of hopefully for something really, really fantastic happening. The total disillusion of so many mental paradigms that has been entrapping society worldwide. So I'll leave you with that. So as always, live long and prosper. May the force be with you, and so long, and thanks for all the fish. Goodbye.